this is Bex with Pour Paint Now, and welcome back to our Basics of Pour Painting series. Today we are going to do the dirty cup pour. Oh, it sounds very risque, but it's not. The basic concept behind it is rather than pouring the paint directly onto the canvas, as we do in the clean pour, straight pour, direct pour, we'll actually be putting it in a cup first and then putting it onto the canvas. If you are using our Pour Paint Now Smart Start Art Kit, it comes with 2 cups. There's a very small one and then a larger one. Generally, I like to use the larger one. You can use the smaller, but I like being able to see through it. And so you will see why in just a minute. We are using our Fire Collection paints. So we have a Black base coat, True Red, Vivid Orange, Rose, and Lemon of the Deco Arts acrylic ready to pour. You don't have to, no mixing, no additions. It's ready to go. Gives you great color and a beautiful finish. If you have questions about the paint, you can go to Deco Arts site. And otherwise, we will get started. So, as with most techniques, we actually are going to start with a clean pour or straight pour because we're going to put our base coat on. In the Smart Start Art Kit, the canvases have little push pins put in the corners. For me today, actually, I'm using my little short cups, the little shot cups, and putting them in the corner because I like having them up a little higher. But you can certainly do however you want to do. So here we go. I'm going to try a different technique doing my base coat today. I normally just kind of put it all over the place. But I'm going to try just putting it on one end and sort of letting it slide down. As we've discussed in other videos, the purpose of doing the base coat is, you see how slowly that wants to slide? Because the canvas is very dry, very rough. So we want to cover it with a base layer of paint so that when we get to the color part and the part where we want to tilt and drag and make the paint move around the surface, we want a smoother, slicker surface for it to do that. But we start with putting down this base layer like frosting the cake. You want to make sure you get coverage on the sides. You don't have to worry about completely covering it because we will be adding more paint and it will probably cover them in the course of things. As usual, the sound in the background is my dog Boudreaux. Okay, so now we have the fun part. So we have the base coat down, and now we're going to take our clear cup and we're going to start layering in colors. If you've watched Shrek, of course he talks about parfait, ogres having layers, paintings have layers too. And so what we will do is start with, I like to sort of do them down the side. I've got a layer of my red. I want a lot of contrast, so I'm going to go sort of darker, lighter. And if these are blending at each other, that's okay. But the general concept is to have them kind of layered like a parfait. Go with orange. And so what's going to happen is after we pour it into here, is then we're going to pour it onto the canvas. That's the dirty pour because it's already in the cup, so it's been dirtied before it goes in. And as you can tell, sometimes you can see it more than others. It does what it does. If you have some of your base color left, you can even add that in. And you can just pour on top. This is pour down the side if you want to. So I like to change it up. And I'm actually doing a fair bit more than you probably need to cover the canvas. But you know what? That's what it's about, is actually having fun, trying things, and seeing what you like and what you don't. So we're gonna wrap it up. Blaster red. One thing to think about when you are loading the paint into your cup, whatever is you put into your cup first will be the last thing to pour out, and vice versa. So now we just pour it on. And again, there's no right or wrong. There are no rules. Just pour and see what happens. Some people like to do sort of where it looks more ribbony, or just in different designs. There is a specific one that's going to be based off of this that we'll do later called ring pour, but for now we're just going to pour. And this is the magic. As you can see, the colors are sort of combining, getting these really interesting stripes going on. I'm actually going to stop for a sec and hold a little bit back. I love the design. Just in case I want to add some more on top once I've done some tilting. But now we tilt. We get into our corners. And we start letting it roll off, because I have a lot of paint on this canvas. Or way too much, actually. I kind of got out of control. Like I said, you can do thinner layers of paint. Like I said, there really aren't any rules per se. This is making me think of like a 1978 Camaro. So with the Pour Paint art kits, we have the little trays like I'm using, and also the puppy pea pads, which is good because my corners of my painting are actually kind of drifting off the space. Oh yeah. So this is a great example, as you can see, of some of these. Let me tilt a little more. Oh wait. And once you find something that you like, I will come back to what I was saying. It's sort of hard to watch the whole painting at one time, but I'm going to show you something that's really neat that's happening. We're getting what's called cells. See these little dots? So each color of paint has a specific gravity. Those are some wonderful examples of them right there. Each color of paint has a specific gravity, basically a different weight. And so these little micro changes, oh man, look at that. Micro changes of the differences of the paint, the weights of paints are actually making different layers move up and down. So you have like these breakthroughs. Almost looks like the surface of Jupiter, where you have the big red spot. But look at these, where things are blending together. And oh crap! I just put my finger in it. All right, it's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. I don't want to lose that corner there. So we'll just get a little bit of smooth that out. There we go. No one. Don't tell anybody. It'll be our secret. All right. As I've often said, the hardest two things are starting and stopping. And so I'm going to take my gloves off so I stop, because I really like where this one's at. So yes, the cells is what I was talking about. The cells, as you see, kind of are developing throughout the painting. Some people will do things to encourage the cells. So there's our cup, which I'm actually going to throw away because I really like this and I don't want to change anything about it. But I could go back and do some more little you know, squiggles on top if I wanted to. But I really like the depth of the different colors. Again, see what I'm saying about the contrast with the lights and the darks, and you just get a really neat kind of 3D effect. Over here, we've got where the yellow and the orange is almost looking green. Some of the little sections almost look blue with the pink. So, you know, you really get some extraordinary results, things you just wouldn't expect. And that is one of the things that I really love about this art form, because you just don't know. I wouldn't have thought necessarily that some of these different colors, like I said, that's very green looking, would come out. But that, I think that's beautiful. What's sort of coming through with that like oyster shell look. So this is the Dirty Pour.